Investors are about to get completely wrecked during altcoin season. I want to explain to you why they're going to get wrecked and how they're going to get wrecked. But what I'd like you to do to fire this algo up is type down below your favorite cryptocurrency project. I'm curious how many projects that you type below are either Bitcoin, the big dog, the big kahuna, or an altcoin. Altcoin season, if this is your first cycle, right? If you have not experienced an altcoin season, do me a favor. Type yes or no. Have you experienced one before? Either you experienced the altcoin season of 2021, 2022, or you experienced 2017, 2018, or maybe even before that. I want to know if you've experienced it before. And what's very important, you need to understand this right now because we don't have a lot of time. We're in this altcoin season has already started to kick off. We're in a lull right now, and hopefully you're buying, not selling. But people do not have the necessary tools to deal with this if this is their first time because it's about to take off again. And a lot of investors are going to be wrecked just like they were in 2018 and 2022. So first, let me explain a couple of things. There is a big difference between an altcoin project that has been around for a long time, has already had its initial pump and dump, and that always happens because of emotions, right? People race in because people like to buy things that are going up. They don't like to buy value and amazing companies when they're going down. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's true because most people are speculators. They're not investors, all right? My job is to make you very successful in this short season. And when I say short, I'm not kidding. We've got about 6, maybe 8 months, maybe. I'd be shocked if we made 8 months before everything starts to severely turn down again. To find winners and then be able to pull that money out, okay? So let me ask you this, and it's very important you say it out loud and you type it down. Do you want to be a success or a failure? I know it sounds funny, but you've actually got to type it. Type success or failure right now. And the reason why I say that is because you need to get into the mode where you are a successful person because you are thinking like a successful person, which is completely opposite of what most of the world thinks like. And then you are moving forward and doing what a successful person does. All right. Now, one thing a successful person does getting into altcoin season is you're positioning yourself prior to the masses. In the last handful of weeks, I've seen a lot of you get very wealthy. No joke. I've seen people go from $400 in their account to $8,000. I've seen people go from $10,000 into the 6 figures, and I've even seen larger than that. And I want to tell you a story about somebody that I know that got completely wrecked in altcoin season. It's going to teach you a lot. Real quick, I've got a shout out because I am my own sponsor. I own a financial education company, the DeFi Pro course, where I teach you how to go and find projects ahead of time before they go to the big exchanges. Go get them on decentralized exchanges, hold them in your wallet securely, and then wait for the great news of them going on Coinbase, Binance, and things like that. Sale is going to be over, but it's bundled with all of my picks. This is the only way you get my picks way ahead of time, what I'm buying, and I'm going to tell you when I'm selling and how much on that course. It's 2 bundles now. It's Ninja and Dylan's crypto picks along with DeFi Pro. That sale is going away tomorrow, and it is going up a lot higher. Links down below. All right, let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. That has been completely wrecked in crypto and does not want to look back. As a matter of fact, if you even look at this, the original creator of Doge, you've got a very similar situation where they didn't understand the cycles, and now they don't even want to go back to crypto because they're sitting on just bags that are worthless. What happens during the normal evolution of any cryptocurrency project is once they hit first they hit these decentralized exchanges where it's very hard to find them, very hard to get them, especially at a good price because of slippage and some other things that happen on chain. This is why I teach you guys. But what happens is it's hard to get them. When they get listed on major exchanges, now they're in front of the masses. And the masses love to speculate. And you always see this massive price spike, right? Whether it be through an initial coin offering directly, and then it hits its first decentralized exchange or maybe possibly a big exchange, or you get it from a DEX to a SEX, right? A CEX. SEXed. How would you pronounce CEX? Sounds like sex. All right, here we go. But truthfully, you have this initial pump because everybody buys it. And then you have a dump. right? And it's a myriad of all kinds of different reasons. It could be insider selling, it could be other investors selling, or it could be just people just don't want to buy it anymore. It's too expensive, and it just starts to fall because people eventually want to take profits. Then what happens is they go into mode. It was either a total pump and dump scam, and these companies just minted either a worthless Ethereum token or a worthless meme coin, and there's no project there. Then after time, some of those they keep working, and there's some really cool indicators like the company starts buying back tokens. They move from Ethereum to a different chain, their own chain, on a different network because of speed and reliability, but they always usually start with Ethereum, right? Because Ethereum is the easiest way through smart contracts to conduct an ICO for them to gain money to start working on these things. Well, I have friends that don't understand and they're completely shot and bummed. And there's a couple projects. I asked my buddy the other day, I said, hey, why don't you want to go back in crypto? He's like, oh, no way. I'm never going back. I'm so burnt out. I put a ton of money into this coin, this coin, this coin. As he's telling me, I'm looking them up and I'm looking at the all-time stock chart pattern. I'm looking at what exchanges they're on. I'm looking at their community involvement on X and other places. And I'm seeing that there's one out of these four it looks like a pretty solid winner. Now, I've got a lot more research to do. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of how we do our due diligence, right? We have checklists and all this kind of stuff, which eventually I'm going to be coming out with a course on. So if anybody's been wanting that, type yes if you've been wanting a course on how to do thorough due diligence on all these projects. I'm just curious, or type no if you could care less. I'm just curious how many people want it. I've been getting a lot of emails about that, so I'm going to share with you guys my strategy. Well, I'm watching one of his projects and I'm going, oh, this thing's going to be epic. It could be. I've got to do a lot of effort. But this is about what's about to happen this spring. You see, as altcoins ramping up, and I'm going to some events where I'm going to be talking to developers, full stack developers on these projects with Ethereum, Solana, and things like that, because there are projects that I'm working on that I want to get moved because I have real businesses that I want to put on the blockchain for recording purposes, fundraising purposes, things like that. These amazing tech companies that will use this technology to get even bigger, right? Well, what these guys do is you're about to see another flood in the spring of initial coin offerings, fundraising, things like that. There's going to be a lot of scams out there. There's going to be a lot of good projects, but because of this natural occurring event of sliding, just screaming up and slamming down, people are going to get wrecked because they're going to, no joke, you're going to see people in the next 4 months telling you, I have taken a loan against my house to buy crypto. This is really going to happen. It's actually already happening right now. You're going to see people putting crypto on their credit cards. I think this is extremely dangerous. What I want you to understand, and I want you to visualize something, because this is a real story about me. And I want you to say yes or no, or put yourself, as I'm telling you this story, into your own mind. I want you to envision yourself succeeding this year. And the reason why I want you to, and making money in crypto, the one thing that's keeping you away from succeeding is being able to take actionable steps based off of knowledge, which leads to understanding and then creates the ability to succeed. And many of you don't have it because you don't have the mental slides in the back of your head because you never knew how to formulate that success. So if you want that kind of success, just type yes. All right. Now, I want you to think about what I went through. In 2017, I put $10,000. I split it up between a Bitcoin at 500, Ethereum at 50, and XRP at 2 cents. All right. I took $10,000, put into those three. I noticed a couple of things. Obviously, all of them went up throughout that year. As a matter of fact, it went from $10,000 to $100,000 total portfolio very quick. And I pulled $40,000 out. I took it out and I bought silver with it. I went to my wife and I said, no matter what happens with our cryptocurrency investment, we won. That was the first step. I knew to pull money out. See, right now, a lot of people have made a lot of money, on my first 5 coin picks, right? And throughout those picks, I said, hey, at this point, you need to take some profit. I'll wait because I'm the guy that told you, and that's not that would not be ethical if I sold into this volume. And I said, hey, you guys should take profit. I'll wait. I'll take the hit. You guys took profit. The price turned down. The next day I came out and I said, all right, I'm going to pull back 10%, right? Then when certain news came out on certain projects, I said, you know what? This is bearish for the project in the short term. I would suggest pulling off 20%. And a lot of people did it. They listened. They heeded the word. Now you and I have cash in our account. Well, guess where we are right now? Everything's settled down. Nothing's changed with those projects. Nothing, except for all of those companies have an additional 30 days of work that they've gotten done. They're all still showing up to the office. They're all still hammering out new code, new roadmaps and those kind of things. And now we have the ability, and just so you know, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, I'm not doing it today. But if the prices of all those cryptos I told you about get anywhere near where I told you, I'm going to double my position in every single one of them. And I'm going to let you know on X when I do it, okay? So you have fair warning, okay? But what you need to do is when I pulled that $40,000 out, I was now a winner. It was over. I now succeeded as a cryptocurrency investor. Now that $60,000 I was left went to $1 million in value. Here's what I learned the hard way. Even though many of those coins that I own today are still viable products and they're building, they crashed down. So it went up to $1 million, 60 grand went to $1 million, and then it crashed down to 150,000 as of like a year and a half ago. Now that 150 grand is worth 300. Now that's not my entire portfolio. That is just that chunk of money that I put in 2017. So 10,000 turned into 40 grand in silver, and today's value, $300,000 in crypto. Even though it hit the top, what I learned was I didn't pull enough of those profits out. And that's what you need to know. You need to know when, how, and why you would pull a portion of your wins out. And the only time you pull a portion of your wins out is two things. Either you think that the project's going south and maybe this is going to be not as good of a winner as something else during altcoin season. Or number two, you're going to say, I have something else better to put my money in, right? Two reasons. I didn't have someone alongside of me in 2017 that knew what I did. I was fully focused on mining crypto, on staking crypto, on setting up and running nodes, all of that kind of stuff. This is a big deal. Hold on real quick. All right, let's just do this. Let's just ban that person. I do not like I just banned somebody for making even if it was a joke, max out your credit cards and buy crypto. That's a toxic attitude. And I don't want anyone like that. That's actually why, and I'm going to do another shout out. DeFi course goes up in price after tomorrow. And the reason why I'm setting the price so high is because my coin picks are in there and I know what this is worth and I need the group to be small. I want you to start envisioning yourself winning, but it's going to take some work. And the thing is, this is not the time to sleep. I'm not joking. This isn't the time to go to the baseball games, the football games, you know what I mean? This is altcoin season. This is the Super Bowl of cryptocurrency investing. Guys, type 10 if you agree with that. If you're an OG and you've been through at least one other crypto cycle and you know what I'm talking about, tell everyone down below, this is not a joke. You don't got a lot of time. When everybody wants to talk about their kid's soccer game and how things are going at, dance recital, yeah, say, copy. I got to go and read and research right now because this ain't a joke because I've got a small bit of time because we're going to be exiting out of this. And in the next 6 weeks, I'm going to show you a project and my DeFi students are going to get a hold of that project like a month before I talk about it on the channel because I believe it's going to spread like wildfire all across the world and get everybody involved in a project that is so dang decentralized and so amazing. Governments and banks are afraid of it. I'll be able to prove that to you. We are in the most incredible time ever, but we're going to shift. You see, successful people know how to pivot. They understand the changing of the seasons. And there are seasons that are decades long. There are seasons that are quarters of a year long. And then there are seasons even throughout winds of change throughout the days of trading stocks, cryptos, and other investments. And once you start to identify those, you're going to win. So I want you to understand there are a lot of investors this year that are going to be wrecked. And if they don't want to put out the hard work, they don't want to put out the time and the money to learn all this stuff, they're your exit liquidity. End of story. For every seller of something, there is a buyer. For every buyer of something, there is a seller. The question is, what side of that trade do you want to be on? The winning side or the losing side? Do me a favor and type that down below. If you want the DeFi course, awesome. It's going to be yours. And every crypto course you get offer before that is going to be well before everyone else and at a severe fraction of the cost. It is going to be bundled, DeFi only, DeFi course only, with my picks, when I'm going to tell you what I'm buying, why I'm buying it, and when I'm selling and why I'm selling it. End of story. I want to keep this group very small. So as of after tomorrow, price goes up, and it goes up a lot. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.